Good evening. I am Dr. Linda Mitchell, also known as Dr. CMOS, and welcome to Black Business Network. Today's commercial is a health break. I want to talk a little bit about elderberry syrup. Elderberry syrup. One of the first things that I learned about elderberry syrup as I became a holistic health coach was that it supports your immune health. I sell over 100 products on my website. And if I had to recommend one product to every customer, it would be get a bottle of our elderberry syrup. Why? Because it helps to boost your immune system. It boosts your immune health and helps to fight colds. It helps to fight flu. It helps to fight viruses. And you want your immune system to be at a peak. You want any germ or any vitamin or any germ or any bacteria that tries to attack your system to be able to be fought off, and elderberry syrup helps that. I had a customer this weekend say that she was a diabetic and she couldn't take it. Not a problem. We make our organic elderberry syrup without a sweetener with that 9.5 alkaline Kangen water. And if you are diabetic, you'll get the syrup and the 9.5 water with no sweetener, so it will not impact your insulin level. Okay. Most of our customers get the regular elderberry syrup, but if you are diabetic, you can get it without a sweetener. Elderberry syrup, loaded with antioxidants and antiviral, antibacterial fighter. You want to be taking that every day, every morning. You take a shot if you have cold or flu, or take a teaspoon if you're just maintaining and you want to stay healthy. I am Dr. Linda Mitchell, also known as Dr. CMOS, and you can go to www.sweetheartmitchellcollection.com. Again, www.sweetheartmitchellcollection.com to order. Get your elderberry syrup today.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
Welcome to the Black Business News Show. I am Dr. Linda Mitchell. Good evening, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Dr. Linda Mitchell, and I am your host tonight. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about business. Tonight, my guest is Milani Shani. She's a powerful coach and innovator, a master teacher, a mentor who is certified in professional life, relationship, and bereavement coaching. She's also a certified professional energy healer, specializing in natural, psychological, and spiritual arts and sciences. She has dedicated over 3 decades of her life in support, service, and mentorship to some of the best and brightest movers and shakers on the planet that show up on purpose as entrepreneurs, leaders, coaches, and healers. Through her transformational programs, products, and services, she has helped thousands of people transform from their personal and professional lives through creating and sustaining relational wealth and growing, thriving businesses and communities. Milani is a self-made and educated CEO of creator and producer of countless programs and communities that reflect her passion for the progress of personal growth and personal development. I'd like to bring on my guest, Milani Shani.
Hello, Dr. Linda. How are you?
I am fantastic. You look beautiful tonight. I love that orange. It's popping, Queen.
Thank you so much. I am simply a reflection of you, love. Just a reflection of you.
I appreciate that. And I appreciate you getting all beautiful and dressed up for me the day after Thanksgiving.
Of course. You know how we do. You know how queens do.
So tell our viewers, what is your story? What has brought you to doing what you do today?
So, as a young person, I experienced quite a bit of trauma in my younger years, but I was triumphant. So I thought over that. I became a singer, songwriter. So I traveled a lot and sang with bands, and that was really my first love is music. I just wanted to sing. I was struggling. I was struggling with my relationships. I was struggling with self sabotage. I was struggling with stress and frustration and feeling rejected if something didn't go my way. It was a lot, right? But it was a mirror of what I had gone through, and what I was thinking was showing up in my life. And so I met my mentors when I was about 29 years old. And it really changed the work that I did with them. The internal work that I did with them really changed the trajectory of my life. I worked with them for 5 years, doing internal work, a lot of what we call cellular memory releasing, clearing out my DNA, clearing out my cells. And it was some of the most powerful work I've ever done. But it took me 5 years to do it because I was so stuck and so afraid and so hurt. And I didn't trust anyone, including myself. Right. Mostly when we don't trust people, it's because we don't trust ourselves. And so that's where I was. I didn't trust them. I didn't trust myself. And so when I finally got to a point where they could work with me and I started letting go. I remember one time I was on the table and I was breathing. We used to do this real intense breath work. And I was breathing and breathing, and something was trying to leave me. I don't know what it was. I don't know if my trauma or some feeling that I had buried. I don't know. But I sat straight up in the table and I was like, who am I going to be? If I don't have this, who am I going to be? I didn't know who I was going to be if I wasn't struggling, if I wasn't, fighting, if I wasn't in pain. I didn't know who that other person would be, who that happy, joyful, peaceful, fulfilling person. Of course, we want that, but who is that? I don't know her. I know pain. And even though I don't want it, it's what I know. And so I sat up in the table and he was like, we don't know, but do you want to find out? Yeah. And that was a turning point for me in my life. And so we did that work, and I did a lot of internal work. And there was 3 things that stood out for me that I learned over those 5 years that I still are the foundation of who I am today and how I move. The first thing was everything begins and ends with me. If you're 29 years old, right, and you're laying on a table and in the ceiling, every time you lay down, you see this thing. Everything begins and ends with me. You don't know what the heck that means. What do you mean everything begins and ends with me? But my mentors were teaching me how to take accountability for every choice, every decision, every creation, every experience, every single thing that I went through, every single experience that I had, I created. And, I had some crazy experience. So I was looking at them like, you all are crazy. You don't know what I've been through. How do I take responsibility? But what they were really telling me is moving forward, you can create a different experience if you want that. Or you can sit in the same experience and keep creating more of the same. It's up to you. The second lesson they taught me was why you're trying to fit into a world you were born to stand out in. That was a very, very powerful lesson for me, because I was always saying, why can't I just fit in? I didn't fit in anywhere. I didn't fit in with my family. I didn't fit in with my band. I didn't fit in anywhere. It's like everywhere I went, I stood out. People were calling me mama at 17. And I was like, why? I'm not your mama. Why are you calling me mama? But now I realize it was the loving energy that they felt that wrapped around them every time they were in my presence. It made them feel nurtured and loved. And at that time, I didn't have a clue. I just wanted to fit in. Yeah. And they helped me to understand that's not why you were born. You were born to stand out, and you were born with this increased capacity to love so you could do this work. Because once you do it on yourself, then you have to share it. And to do this work, you have to have that increased capacity of love. And so they taught me that. And the last thing they taught me was the chosen ones are the ones who choose. I really wanted to be chosen. You know, when you're young like that, you know, I had been married and divorced, and I was just like, you know, I want people to choose me. I want people to see me, you know, but they taught me, because that was my whole thing. I want people to see me. And so what they taught me was see yourself. Yeah. See yourself through your own eyes. Stop looking at yourself through the eyes of others and look at yourself through your own eyes. And when I learned how to do these three things, my entire life changed. And music, even though it's still my first love, I sing in the shower and around the house all the time. I wanted people to understand, because it was such a transformational time for me. I wanted to come out and share with people, you don't have to be in pain, because I was sharing with people anyway. I was born with all kinds of skills and gifts. So I was sharing with people anyway, but I wasn't sharing with them that they didn't have to be in pain. I was trying to soothe their pain. I was trying to make them feel better instead of helping them heal. The experience that I went through. I went through a healing experience. I was always out trying to be soothed instead of being healed.
There's a difference. There's a difference. And we're going to talk about that difference tonight. Milani, why is this so important to you to help others, to heal, to transform? Why, what's the burning desire in you?
There's a fire in my belly, because that experience shifted my entire life. It shifted every relationship. It shifted the way that I related to people. It shifted my finances. It shifted what I did for business. I was working in the government. You know, it shifted that. At 30 years old, I resigned from my government job I had been on for 10 years. And my manager was like, what are you doing? You're only 30. What are you doing? I said, I don't know, but I'm not doing this. It gave me courage. It gave me the strength to be who I was born to be. My mentors gave me a whole new insight, inspiration on I was born to be more than this. I was born to be more than being admired on the stage. I was born to be more than pushing paper for a government job. There's more in me, and I wanted to find it. And not only did I want to find it, I wanted to help other people to find the same thing I felt, to feel that feeling of freedom, of liberation. They liberated me. And I was in some serious bondage, right? And so I'm like, wow, I'm free. Like, I can be really free. I can be myself. I can be authentic. I can be loving. I don't have to worry about fitting in. It was like, I don't know, it was like a brand new life. A brand new life. And I started helping people and coaching people back then. And I was doing a lot of energy healing, a lot of healing work, because that's what we did. You know, that's what I was trained in. After I worked with them in healing myself, then they trained me in the energy healing. And then I started taking like Reiki and all of that. I was taking that back in the 80s and 90s, right?
You were ahead of your time.
Yeah, right. Way ahead, right? And so it was a burning desire. And I was getting, people telling me this, nobody's interested in that. Why are you doing that? Only in the circles that I was in. When I went outside of that, people weren't interested. But I don't know. There was a fire in my belly. It was lit in my belly then, and it's still there to this day, that no matter what people say, I'm like, there's somebody out there who is in bondage and they want to be free. and they can be. And those are the people that show up at Milani Shani Global. It doesn't matter what their lifestyle is. It doesn't matter how old you are. I have my youngest client is 9. My oldest client is 89. Everybody wants to be free in some area. You want to be free in your relationships. You want to be free in finance. You want to be free in your health. You want to be free in your physical, in your spiritual. Everyone wants to liberate themselves somewhere. And I'm here for that, right? Because I know what it feels like to be in serious bondage for years and years and years. And I also know what it feels like to be free, right? And I'll take freedom any day. Any day, whatever I have to do, it doesn't matter. Whatever internal work I have to do to create external results, that's what I'm going to do. And that's what I teach my clients. If you want to start a business, get free. If you want to create a relationship, get free. Because when you're free, you don't have all those things in your mind telling you what you can't do. The false beliefs, the false beliefs we have that say we can't do it. We can't get the relationship we want. We can't start a business. This business is not going to work. Nobody's doing this. So how can I make it work? Who am I to make it work? Right? All of this stuff, you don't, when you're free, you don't think about that. You think about that fire in your belly, and you think about how you getting ready to get free.
Come on. Right? So, Milani, our topic tonight, and you said some words that are so juicy. You said, I'm willing to do the things that I need to do internally.
Yes.
When I talk to you, I feel like I'm talking to a sister, a blood sister.
Yes.
I can relate to just about everything that you're saying because I've been through it, right?
Yes.
And we all have our stories. And I shared with you earlier that when we share our story, it helps us to connect with people.
Yes.
And I just connect with you on so many levels. When you share your story, when you told me about your childhood, your victories, and the things that you've overcome, it's just beautiful. And I want us to go ahead and get into our topic, which is, are you conscious or unconscious of what you are creating?
Yes.
And I'm going to give you the ring so you can roll with it and just get us kicked off on our topic tonight. And then I'm going to jump in when I have a question or comment to share.
Okay, wonderful. So this is really important because one of the things that some of the things that I went through was I went through some, abuse emotionally and physically as a child. I also was homeless for a long time. I had really bad relationships, really abusive relationships with the men. And so going through all of that, you can imagine what was going on in my mind about myself, right? I had to be unworthy, right? If I was treated this way, if people treated me this way, and all I wanted to do was love them and care for them and, and do me and be me, why did they treat me this way? Right? And so everything was going through my mind. And so unconscious. I was so unconscious because I had all of these false beliefs. And when you have false beliefs, it renders you unconscious. Literally, people say you're sleepwalking, right? Because every choice that you make is based on what you've been through. It's based on how people have treated you, or it's based on what you think people are going to do or how people are going to treat you. Even coming into my business, like I've been in business as an entrepreneur for over 3 decades, but I haven't been confident. Like the person you see here today was not that when I first started, right? I doubted everything. And anytime somebody brought something up to me about a workshop, I've opened wellness centers. I've done workshops all over the country. I've done family boot camps. Let somebody come to me and tell me, like, people's lives are being changed and people are coming to me like, oh my God, Milani, I can't believe this change. And I'm still letting people tell me like, you need to change this, or I would change whole programs because of one person and what they said. Why? Because I didn't think I knew enough. I didn't think I was enough. I didn't think I was worthy. I was moving unconsciously in the shadows of my life, right? Which means that what? I was creating more of that. I was creating more people questioning me. I used to have my office, right? And I had all my degrees on the wall. I had everything that I had ever done on the wall. All my certifications my wall was full of certifications. And every time I got a new client, they questioned me. What's your qualification? What qualifies you to do this? Right? And I would be trying to explain, and I would be like, Vanna Black on the wall, like, look at all I have. Look what I have. Right? I needed that validation, like I needed it. Now, nobody asks me what my qualifications are. I never have to bring paperwork out, ever. Why? Because I'm not doubting myself and who I am and what I do. People can feel that.
Yeah, they can feel it. And I want to interject here because I can relate. Yes. It took me 50 years. I got my PhD in theology. Okay. And I got all my certification. I was always in somebody's workshop. Okay. I got a double master's in Christian education. They gave me a double because I gave them a folder this thick of workshops, certifications that I had gotten over the year. And my point is validation.
Yes.
All those certifications over the years, I was looking for somebody to validate, somebody outside of me to validate what I always had.
Yes.
The business that I'm running now, what I'm doing now, how I'm coaching my clients, I always had it.
Yes.
I didn't need those certifications. No, and when we get to the point where we realize that, that light bulb goes off, the whole, it's like you said, the trajectory of our vision, it goes forward. And because we know our self-worth, we know who we are. People don't have to question it.
Right.
Okay? Because the self-worth vibrates out into the energy, right? Into the world. And they feel it. People can feel if you're being real, genuine, authentic. And I just had to share that because I could so relate.
Well, we're kindred. So I know you'll have a lot to share as I speak, right? Because we're kindred spirits, right? But that's the thing about getting the validation. It doesn't work because you still don't feel like you're enough until you feel you can only like when we're looking for validation, we're looking to fill a void, right? There's a void there. So we're looking for the external people to validate, to fill up that void. It doesn't work because the void can only be filled up with your own self-love.
Yes.
That's the only thing that can fill the void. It doesn't matter what void you're feeling. If you don't feel like you're loved enough, if you don't feel like you're enough, if you don't feel like you know enough, it doesn't matter. You have to fill the void with your own self-love. Love yourself deeper every time you doubt yourself.
Yes.
Right? Go for the deeper love, not the deeper validation, because it won't matter. It'll give you a temporary moment. And then it'll be over. Right? And so tonight, talking about, are you conscious or unconscious of what you're creating? We want to give you some permanent moments, some sustainable moments, not just that one moment that you had something going and now, somebody told you were great and you getting hip hooray, and then you go home and you're depressed because you can't get that on your own.
Come on.
Right. And so you are absolutely right. We don't need any. I don't even know where half of them papers is. I don't even know where that stuff is anymore. I have no clue. I can tell people. I start saying like that when people, what do you do? I'm a master coach and mentor. I can't even explain to you. I just do what I do, right? It's not something that I feel like I need to validate, because when you do your internal work, and you said this earlier, Dr. Linda, when you your internal work, okay, people are going to feel you.
Come on.
Yes. When you do your internal work, baby, it doesn't take anything for people to feel you. They're
like a magnet. They're like a magnet to you.
You open your mouth.
Say it.
Your people are going to magnetize themselves to you. There are certain people on this planet that are here just for you. Exactly. They need to hear things through your personality, how you're giving it. I had a client one time, it was hilarious, right? She was like, Melania, you're a little bit rough and you're, in your delivery and how you do things. I said, I know. I said, do you know how powerful you are? I said, if I wasn't who I am, you would eat me alive. See, I don't deal with people who are not powerful, and people who are powerful show up powerfully, right? And they're telling you who they are and who they know they are. And
Yeah.
what am I be doing sitting up like, oh, you can do that? They will eat me alive. No, ma'am.
Wouldn't work at all.
We don't play them games, right?
Right.
Because we want you to come and get the results that you're seeking. We need you. I tell people all the time, I need help in these streets, right? I'm out here coaching people, helping people. We need help in these streets out here. People are having a difficult time because they're living the unconscious life. And we want to help you come back to support you and serve you and coming back to your consciousness, right? Because your consciousness will lead the way for you. It's going to tell you where to show up, who to show up with, where your resources are. When you clear that unconscious stuff, that cellular memory, when you begin to clear that, it's going to show you exactly where you need to go, who you need to talk to, who's the best for you. People who come into your life to hear from you, to be taught by you, they come because we're here to teach, but we're here to learn.
Come on.
So that just like me and you, we're here like, girl, yes, I went through that too, right? We're here with kindred spirits. So we're here to teach, we're here to learn. So people who come to you are those people who need to hear it just like you're here to tell it.
Melanie, I want to talk about that some more. I want to go deep when you talk about that being conscious.
Yes.
For me, one of the light bulbs, and like we talked about, there's layers. There's many layers as you continue to go to your levels that are going to happen that requires you to do that internal work to get that internal healing. Yes. And one of the biggest aha moments for me was I had been focusing on my weight and losing weight since I was in my 20s.
Yes.
And that was an unconscious behavior for me. And the light bulb went off that caused me to become conscious of it is, what would I be thinking about if I didn't have to think about the weight loss anymore? What would I replace this thought with that I've been having since I was in my 20s? It's taking up space in my brain. If this was no more a thought in my consciousness, and I love myself in a whole and healthy way, and every day, instead of going about losing weight, I focused on being healthy.
Yes.
Now I can free up that thought and that space to think about something else.
Yes.
Something more conscious, something more creative. And for me, that's what becoming conscious looked like in my scenario. That's just one. I got so many others that I could share. And so I'll pass it back to you so you can share more of what that would look like.
Well, you liberated yourself. So congratulations for that.
Thank you.
That's amazing. Right. And so unconscious looks like the world saying that if you're slim, you're healthy.
Yeah.
That's super unconscious. I know a whole bunch of unhealthy slim people. And so when you're walking around listening to the world tell you who you need to be okay, that's unconscious. In any area of your life. And this is what I want people to understand. It's every area of your life. Wake up, right? Don't just wake up to get your bag. Don't just wake up to look a certain way. Wake up to your relational wealth. How are your relationships? Right? How are you relating to yourself and others, right? Because unconscious looks like you are not relating. You are alone most of the time, and by choice, not because you don't want to be, but by choice, you are alone a lot. Why are you choosing this? I love what you said, Dr. Linda. Like, if I wasn't thinking about losing weight all the time, what could I be doing?
Yes.
And so you're asking yourself really like, why am I choosing about losing weight all the time? And you answer that question for yourself and we're able to stop. Right. And so that's what consciousness looks like. It looks like you asking yourself a question. So let me give you this. This is really a very simple way to understand. So Iyanla Vanzant gave us this long time ago, and I read her first book. She said, there's only two emotions in the world, love and fear. That's what she gave us. Like, I've come to my own belief, which now I believe there's only one emotion, and that's love. Fear is an illusion. But let's say love and fear is the only two emotions, right? So if it doesn't fall under love, it must fall under fear, right? So if you're angry, ask yourself, what am I afraid of? If you're sad, ask yourself, What am I afraid of?
Same question. Mm-hmm.
If you're frustrated or depressed, ask yourself, what am I afraid of?
Mm-hmm.
And when you honestly answer that question, you will be able to move to the next step. One of the other things we do in Milani Shauna Global is that we don't focus on the destination, we focus on the journey.
Come on.
We don't know how long it's going to take us to get to where we are. We're not attached to that, because if we attach to that, that's another unconscious action. I'm attached to my destination. How long is it going to take me to peel this onion and get to my core? When you're sitting around thinking about how long it's going to take you to peel all this stuff back and get to your core, you're going to go into fear, which is an illusion. And you're going to lose the love of yourself. And so it's going to come up with some other stuff that's saying to you, you know, you can't do this, you can't do that, nobody loves you. So now you start seeing yourself, you start going outside of yourself, looking for you. How are you going to find you outside of you? You can't find you outside of you. You can only find you inside of you. Yeah. So the first step to consciousness, that's a question. I got you. First step to consciousness is to clear. Clear. So we do a clearing protocol. Dr. Linda, can I give them my clearing protocol? I'm going to give y'all this. I'm going to give you a gift.
Yes, that's some juicy value. We want to give it to them.
Let's go. Okay. So my clearing protocol is this. There's a few sentences that I want you to say, and we're going to do this. So I want everybody to take your hand motion and start doing this. It's like you're wiping away energy from your heart, but you're being very gentle with yourself, just letting the energy wipe away, right? And so your first thing is going to be, I clear every way. So I clear every way that I feel like I'm not enough. I clear every way that I feel like I need to go outside myself to get my truth. I clear every way I don't feel good about what I look like and who I am. I clear every way. And if you're really doing this thing honestly and saying these things to yourself, you're going to feel that energy clearing out, right? I clear every memory related to is your next sentence. I clear every memory related to, because guess what? Some of us are memory hoarding, and that's the only reason we're where we are. We got to get back to zero. Stop remembering what happened to you 2 years ago. You're beyond that. You overcame that. I clear every memory related to what has happened to me is the reason why I feel like I'm not enough. I clear every memory related to the fact that I need to lose weight right now because my father said I was too fat. I clear every memory related to, and then get to the good part, because anytime you clear, now it's time to create, right? The first step is clearing. The second step is create. So now you hold your hands out and you say, it feels so good to love myself. It feels so good to know that I'm more than enough. It feels so good to know that I can have anything that I want. It feels so good that I can have it all. It feels so good that people line up to see me. It feels so good that I magnetize whatever it is I want. It feels so good, right?
Woo, that feels amazing. I'm doing the work,
right? And then listen, then you're like, I am in alignment with, now go ahead and put your power to work. I am in alignment with creating my next step. I am in alignment with creating that business that I've been thinking about. I am in alignment with all the people coming with the resources that I need. I am in alignment with it, right? I clear every way. I clear every memory related to, it feels so good, and I am in alignment with. That is Milani Shawnee's clearing protocol.
That is some powerful work. That is some powerful work, and it works. I could feel it as I was clearing.
Yes.
I could feel it just shifting. I could feel my energy just getting lighter and lighter, because that stuff is heavy. It's and, heavy. You know, that's one of the other things that I realized, that when, you know, I was carrying extra weight, is because it was the past. Yes. The past. It was the weight of the past that I was carrying on my shoulders. Yes. And I had to let that go to get lighter, to allow myself to get lighter. People think it's just physical, but it's emotional, spiritual, and mental, in addition to it being physical as well.
Yeah. Dr. Linda, we don't move until we're clear. We don't move until we're clear. After we've cleared, then we patiently wait because we know it's coming.
Yes.
Right? Whatever I said the other day, I said, okay, because I've been doing a lot of work in the community. I love small groups. I love working in small groups. And so I got the prompting the other day is you need to expand yourself. You need to expand. You need to reach more people. You need to get your work out here. And guess what came? The Black Business Network.
I love it.
I didn't go looking for the network. I did not go looking for the network. You know what I did? I cleared every way that I felt like I only wanted to work with small groups. I cleared every memory related to the fact that I felt like it could be effective unless I worked with small groups. And then it felt so good for me to expand my work and to reach more people. And I was in alignment with whoever wanted to come forward and partner with me on getting the message out to other people. And a client of mine referred me to this network. And you know how I got here?
I know
Go
exactly.
out and struggle and make it happen. I cleared every way. Do it, it works.
And it doesn't have to be hard.
No.
You know, I can't stress that enough.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in my 20s, now I'm in my 50s.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted for the things that I'm manifesting in my life now.
Yes.
But when I was in my 20s, I wasn't ready for them.
Yes.
It's like I had to go through those levels to allow myself to believe in myself, for my self-esteem to increase, for me to realize that I'm a powerful woman that's here to serve, and there are people that are waiting for me, my tribe, to serve in. And if I could go back to my 20-year-old and I could tell her something, I would just say, it's coming, baby. Yes. Just know that it's coming. Yes. You don't have to want for it. You don't have to yearn for it. It's coming. You're going to have it all.
You have to clear. You just have to clear for it. Mm-hmm. Clear the belief that you can't have it. Yes. Clear the belief that it's not coming. Clear that, and it's right in front of your face. Literally, like 48 hours after I did the clearing protocol, this network came.
I love that.
Literally.
I love that.
And let me put this in here because this is really key, okay?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
If you think you know what it is that's holding you back, that's not it. When people come to me and they're verbally telling me everything that they feel like is holding them back, I know that's not it. My job is to read in between the lines, because think about it, Dr. Linda. Mm-hmm. If you knew what was holding you back, would you be held back?
No.
Wouldn't you do something about it? Yes. You're powerful. You would be changing it right now because you're powerful and you would do that, right? And so most of the time, what you're saying is not what's holding you back. Most people, again, are unconscious.
Yeah.
That's why we need support. And that's why we come to serve, because asking for support is a power move. You are making a power move on yourself.
Yes.
Right?
It is, Milani. We got to talk about that because we're both African American women.
Yes.
And one of the things a lot of times that I've seen, and I'm going to speak from my experience, but that's all I can do, is a lot of times the African American women in my community struggle with asking for help.
Oh my goodness.
We make it happen. We're the ones that people come to get it done. Okay. And so I'm learning, in my experience, my lesson recently has been to delegate, to be a powerful leader, and to have an assistant like yourself that I can delegate to get things done. And that gives me leverage. I'm able to bend time, make things happen while I'm doing something else. Yes. And it is done in excellence because I've attracted someone who's astute and powerful at what they do. And I don't have to worry about whether it's getting done or how it's getting done. I can be present where I'm at and at the same time know that my assistants got it.
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
Relinquish. And that takes work too, support. Ooh. But listen to this. I want people to understand, because this is the main thing we want to do, is we want to say, okay, what do I do? How do I do it? And one of the reasons why we say that is because we're trying to rush. We're attached to the outcome. I need to hurry up and do this so I can get this. I need to hurry up and do this so I can get to this point. That's not, no. Okay, that's your humanity pushing you into doing something that's only going to be temporary, and the London bridges are going to come falling down. So if you want sustainable, right, it's not about what you need to do, it's about who you need to be.
Come on, say it.
Write that down.
Teach.
Who do I need to be to get done what I want to get done? When you do the who do I need to be, and you write all that down, and you do that clearing protocol, and you wait for inspiration, trust me, it's gonna come so quick. Your head.
Oh my God. I can relate. Let me share my experience with you.
Yes.
One of my additional stories that happened to me, my aha moment, was when I realized that I have to stand in the billionaire that I've been desiring to be. So I get up in the morning. What would I be doing if I was already a billionaire? I would be moving my body. I would be walking on the beach. I would be exercising in the morning. I would be eating a healthy breakfast, right? I will be saying my affirmations, right, in the morning. I will be delegating. How would I dress? What would I look like? What would I wear today if I was a billionaire? And when I started taking on that thought process and stepping into my billionaire status, my business started growing. My assistant showed up. I'm able to delegate now. I'm in a position now where I can get someone that does my laundry, someone that cleans my home, someone that helps me with the dog, you know?
Yes.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I had to own it. You got to own it.
Yes. In 2019, Dr. Linda, I burned my Superwoman cape. Okay. I was like, I'm done. Okay. I'm done being Superwoman. Because, you know, I was the ultimate hostess. Like, I love to plan events and I love to take care of people. And I love to do everything for people, you know. But then when I got exhausted, I went into a state of depression. A lot of people don't understand. Like, I know people who are deep, deep depressed. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about people who are exhausted and calling it depression.
Yes.
Right? Some people, not all people, but some people, and I've had them in my clientele, are depressed, saying they're depressed, but they're exhausted. And when we get them to the point where they rest, the depression word just magically fades away.
Come on.
Makes sense? So some of us need to burn that. You need to burn that Superwoman or Superman cape. Stop trying to be all things to all people. I went to a conference when I was 32 years old, and the lady said, she said, I'm a multimillionaire. And she said, I don't do my laundry. I don't wash dishes. I don't cut my grass. You know, she just went through a whole laundry list of things she didn't do. She was like, how am I going to run a business and take care of my house? She said, I hire people to do that because I'm on a mission. You better get with the program. If you really all about getting this fire in your belly done, if you're about getting conscious in your life, you need to understand what is best for you. Not what other people, you first, because if you're not okay, how are you going to take care of other people?
Come on, say it, sis.
You're going to serve other people if you're not okay. Take care of you. If you have a bunch of selfish people in your life, because this is what happened to me, and I complained. I was like, I got all these selfish people in my life. Little did I know, they were showing up to show me how I needed to be.
Come on.
Right? Because they were taking care of themselves. And so they didn't have a complaint in the world. I was taking care of everybody but myself. And I had all the complaints in the world. Now I put me first, and it gives me more energy to serve others in a more effective and inspirational way.
I love it.
I don't complain. I still love what I do after 35 years. I just celebrated 35 years of this business. I still love what I do because I'm putting myself first.
So we have some guests tonight, and I just want to acknowledge my husband. He's amazing. He's been in the comments just posting and cheering us on. My husband, David Mitchell, he's amazing. He's my number one cheater. my number one cheerleader. And I just want to thank him for being on tonight and supporting us. And we also have Felicia Harlow. Thank you, Felicia, for coming on.
That's my coaches, Milani Shani Global Coaches. Hey, Felicia, thank you for coming, love.
Yes. Felicia said, own it. Yes.
Yes.
My husband, David, who do I need to be? And so I want to talk more about your transition, because you have a powerful story that we haven't tapped into, where you worked for the government, you said, for 10 years, and then you left your corporate, if you will, government job.
Yes.
And you've been full-time since then for over 30 years. Is that correct, Milani?
I've been full-time for 28
years.
Okay. I did go into the private sector for a few years, about a couple of years, and then I was like, that's it, I'm done. So yeah.
Okay. So I want you to talk about that, because I meet a lot of people that want to leave their corporate job. They want to leave their job, if you will, and they want to be full-time entrepreneurs. You have been able to be successful for over 28 years in Milani Shani Global.
Yes.
What would you suggest to them? What advice would you give to them for sustainability?
So what I did, the first thing I did was I envisioned myself free. So I wrote my resignation letter and put it in my desk, and it stayed in my desk for 1 year, right? So I believe if you write the vision, make it plain, right? So I wrote it down, I put it in my drawer, and I didn't turn it in till a year later. Like I just said I was going to write it. I didn't know, one of the things that I firmly believe in is following the promptings inside of me. Like I have promptings that, everybody has the promptings. Once you get clear, you're going to get inspirations, promptings, downloads, whatever you want to call it, right? You'll get those things, right? And so I got a prompting to write my resignation letter, and that's what I did. So that's the first thing I suggest that you do. Write your resignation letter. Don't put a date on it. Put it, if you can't put it at your job, put it at your house, put it somewhere where it's safe, nobody will find it, right? And so you just write it, because this is your vision. This is your creation, right? And so once I wrote that letter, I wanted to leave my job in excellence. I didn't want to leave my job angry. I didn't want to leave my job upset. And so what I did was I made peace with my position. Yeah. Okay. So that's the next thing you're going to do, is make peace with your position. Whatever you let go of violently, you're forever bound to. Okay. So make sure that you position yourself to leave your job peacefully. Okay. And do what you got to do. So I went on to be excellent. People could not believe it. They were devastated. And that's how I wanted to leave my job. I didn't want to leave my job. People saying, good, she gone. She wasn't doing that anyway. Right. I didn't want to leave like that. I wanted people to be like, oh my God, what are we going to do without her? So get yourself, because I have people want to leave their jobs and they're so mad and so angry. And it's hard, because when you come off of that job, you're going to struggle, because you're bringing anger into your new vision and your new venture. And you don't want, because remember what I said, everything is fear and love. So you're bringing fear. You're starting out your business in fear.
Come on.
Right. And so what you're going to get is more fear. So what you want to create is what you want to focus on, because what you focus on grows, right? And so that's what I did. I positioned myself, prepared myself. So the whole time I was still working a job, I was preparing. I was a little bit frustrated because it took a year, but I was preparing to step out. So I was going to different workshops. Like I said, I went to the millionaire workshop thing. I was doing different things that I could do to develop myself, taking classes, putting the word out that I was coaching. I started coaching people on the side. It was like a hobby for me back then, but I was doing it. I was like, okay, I'm going to just do what I can as I clear myself. Yes. And the first thing I cleared, hear me here, is the paycheck consciousness.
Come on.
Okay. You cannot leave your job if you have two things, an employee consciousness and a paycheck consciousness. Okay. This is what I learned. Employee consciousness and an entrepreneur consciousness is totally different.
Come on.
Right? Entrepreneurs, we don't have no hours, no work hours. Okay. We work until it's done. Right, Dr. Linda?
That's right.
Until it's done. We don't have work hours. So that's an employee mindset. Like I could go on and on, but I'm not going to go on about that. You need to think about it. Like, am I thinking like an employee? Am I waiting for somebody to give me work? Am I showing up mad and disgruntled? Is this how I'm going to show up in my business when something doesn't go my way? Think about it. Okay. You got to have that, and then you got to release the paycheck consciousness. Your money comes from the east, the west, the north, the south, the universe, the trees, the sky, wherever you want it to come from. I tell people all the time, I don't care where this money comes from. It can come from a bum on the street, a child in the, in the playground. I don't care. I know that my money is universal. It comes from, this universal, unlimited source.
Yes.
Job and a paycheck. You got to release that paycheck consciousness. Release yourself from that. One of the things I do, this is the way I do it, and you can create it however you want to. Listen, I'm giving y'all all my secrets.
Come on.
Happy, Dr. Linda. What's going on here, right? You pulling all my secrets, right?
I love it.
This is one of the things that I do is I open my arms every day and I say, the goddess inside me is generous and I'm open to receive. The goddess inside me is generous and I'm open to receive. However you want to do that, whoever's inside you, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't matter. It is the power, the source that reigns supreme inside of you, that energetic source and that energetic essence inside of you that draws and creates and manifests and attracts. That's the energy that you want to connect to and stay connected to until you get what you want, right? So that's two things you have to do. Release that paycheck consciousness and release that employee consciousness. It took me a whole year to do that. But once I did it, I was free. And I've been free ever since. They told me I was coming back to that job. They was like, you'll be back. Baby, I ain't been back. I haven't looked back. I haven't nothing back. Okay. I am free and you can be free too. There's nothing special about what I did. I am special, just like you, but there's nothing special about what I did or what I'm doing. But I am very transmutable, for lack of a better word. I reinvent myself over and over and over again all the time.
Yes.
Right? If something needs to be tweaked or moved, I'm not afraid.
Come on.
Fear is going to hold me back. Fear is going to stagnate me. Fear is unconscious. I'm awake, wide awake.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And you can be awake too. So the only thing you need to do that clearing protocol. Write your resignation letter. Release that paycheck consciousness. Do your clearing protocol around that paycheck consciousness. Release that employee consciousness. Get your arms out and open wide and speak your version of the goddess inside me is generous and I'm open to receive. Expect the unexpected. Me and my mentor used to be like, ooh, I'm waiting on a check. Ain't nobody owe us no money, but we like, ooh, I'm waiting on a check today. And it would come like, I got this check, Dr. Linda. When I left the IRS, right, I just left. I didn't care about no retirement, anything else they had in that thing for me, right? About 18 or 20 years after I left, this bank that they send your stuff to if you don't claim it found me. They investigated me. Look, I've changed my name legally. This how crazy this is. I've changed my name legally since I worked there, right? So they found me and sent me a check for the money that I had from the IRS that I never claimed.
Come on.
When I was 20 years later, right? Like, what is happening? Right? And so it's so important that you understand the power that resides in you. Listen, stop looking at what you need to do because that is going to stagnate you. It's going to stop you. It's going to stagnate you. And it's going to make you feel like you can't do it. Who do you need to be to leave your job? Do you need to be in expectation? Do you need to be prepared? Do you need to be courageous? Do you need to be sure? Do you need to be clear about what your next step is? Not your step to 5 years. You don't even know what to do tomorrow. If you figure out what to do tomorrow, then you can do 5 years. People trying to figure out 5 years and they don't know what they're gonna do tomorrow. Listen, get clear, and then figure out your 5-year plan. Stop trying to make a business plan and you don't even know who you are. No, you trying to create a business based on unconsciousness. That's not gonna last. I did it a lot. Like I created so many things that didn't last because I was trying to please other people. Like, oh, you don't like that? Let me fix this. You don't like this? Let me fix that. And I failed and failed and failed. And you know what? I'm so excited about my failure. So much like that. I know so much now about business and about reinvention and about clients and about money. I know so much. Why? Because I failed so much. I heard a man say, a billionaire say one day, he said, I'm not going to even talk to somebody about investing in business unless they failed at least 3 times. Because then I know they're committed. What? What? Listen, understand failure. It's not about losing. It's about gaining. It's about learning. So put that on your list of how you're going to leave your job. Don't worry about failing. It doesn't matter. It's a learning experience. Get curious about what you need to learn. That's another thing I want you to put on your list. Get curious. Stop being afraid. Stop being like you down on yourself. Get curious. Like, why did I create this experience for myself? What am I trying to teach myself so I can move to the next level? Girl, don't get me started.
You have given some golden nuggets.
Yes.
Golden nuggets. And I want people to understand that you are saying understand.
Yes.
Not understand. She's saying understand. Talking about that inner work. Yes. Now we got to get ready to wrap it up. We got about 45 seconds. I want you to tell everyone how they can reach you, your website, your social media handle. How do they get in touch with you so they can continue this work?
Yes, just reach out to me on any social media site at Mentor Malani Shani. That's MALANESHANI. People spell that wrong, so look on the screen. Make sure you spell it right because you won't find me. Or you can connect with me on my website at msglobal1, the number 1.com. msglobal1.com. And you want to contact me, just go there, hit the contact link, and then you can just put your information in there and we will get right back with you. I just want to say thank you so much, Dr. Linda, because you pulled a lot from me. Baby, it's hard for people to pull stuff from me, but I know you are the real deal. Like, you are an authentic, beautiful sister because you pulled a lot from me. And thank you for that, because people will get their lives changed because of the next step they make, because of the next decision that they make, because of the conversation that we had here. So thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to serve. And I want to say thank you to Felicia Harlow for being here, and my beautiful assistant, Amber Shawnee. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you to the Black Business Network. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Malani Shani. We want to thank you for showing up so powerfully tonight. And we're going to have you back in the next year, 2023. I want you to figure out what new programs you got going on. Let me know the date, and I want you to come back on and share your coaching program that you'll be launching to let folks know how they can become a part of your coaching.
Yes, will do. Thank you so much. I would love to come back anytime.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye.
That was amazing. Amazing. An authentic and genuine conversation with Malani Shani. Few things I want to highlight that she talked about tonight that were absolutely mind-blowing. She said, go from doing to being. Be willing to do your inner work. Get inside, ask questions, and be more conscious as opposed to unconscious, which is key to your success. The magic word of the night is understand, not understand, understand. She's talking about doing your heart work, getting into the clearing that she talked about. She said clearing first, getting all those negative unconscious thoughts out of your vibration, out of your heart, out of your energy, and out of you. right? And then replacing it by creating what it is that you choose to create, right? Powerful, just powerful. Clearing, number one, creating, and then go from doing to being. Just a powerful conversation with a coach that's transforming lives. And so I just want to summarize everything that she talked about. Just inner stand. Yes, it was inner stand. It was so good. Thank you, Amber, for coming on tonight. Thank you, Felicia, for joining us during this amazing conversation. I want to thank my husband, my biggest cheerleader, for coming on and being a part of the comments and the discussion tonight. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you to the Black Business Network for giving me an opportunity to have such powerful conversations with such beautiful people every Friday night at 8 o'clock. And with that, I want to thank you for coming tonight. Whether you're watching the replay or whether you've been with us live, I want to thank you. I am Dr. Linda Mitchell, also known as Dr. CMOS, and you can find me on sweetheartmitchellcollection.com. Again, that's sweetheartmitchellcollection.com. We'll see you next week, next Friday. I've got another amazing guest, same time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And remember, I am Black business. From the time I wake to the time I sleep, I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Please tune in for more shows about Black business. And genius is common. And I'll see you on the other side.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.